That's the suspension bridge I was mentioning, and that's the canyon, and the Skeena River is in the canyon. The telegraph came through here, train, and Sternwheeler. It was built by A.L. Carruthers. It's one of the highest suspension bridges in North America. It's 16 feet wide, 460 foot span, and 260 feet above the river. Here we are, guys, Hazelton firsts. Hazelton is the oldest surviving pioneer community in northwest BC. As befits this Pathfinder status, the community was home to the region's first trading post, bank, school, mining office, government agent, newspaper, and hospital. Still served by many of these institutions, Hazelton enjoys a strong tie to its rich past. Hazelton, guys, it's beautiful here. Right on the Skeena River, Sternwheeler transportation hub here. That's the Skeena, the beautiful Skeena River. And the Omenica Mountains are just up towards us, guys. Omenica Gold Rush, Harry McDame, Vital LaForce, whole bunch of guys coming up into the fold here. John Joxco, better known as Cataline. His bed was a piece of canvas, his roof the clouds and stars, his cooking utensil a frying pan. He was the best packer in British Columbia and quite possibly North America. He played a major role in the opening of the interior. One of the reasons for Cataline's outstanding success as a packer was his friendliness to everyone. As the years passed, it became accepted that Cataline would never fail to fulfill a freight contract. On a high bench of land overlooking the community of Hazelton and the Skeena River is a little-known grave where lie the remains of one of British Columbia's greatest frontiersmen. Pretty interesting history here, guys. Hazelton and the Sternwheelers there. Hand of History Tour. These signs are your passport into the rich history of the Upper Skeena country. Totems, Indian villages, frontier towns, and miles of mountains await the patient explorer. Skeena country, very, very historic area. Lots more still to come, guys, so it's gonna be a good day. Old donkey. You can see how the boiler feeds the cylinders, eh? So you got your manifold here, right? This is the boiler. You put your wood in here, smokestack coming out the top, and then you see, look, manifold, so the steam comes up through that flange, down, and then into the cylinder head. Look, the old cylinder, eh? And then they got the flywheel here, which rotates the shaft that spins the drums. The old winch and drums. Donkey winch. It's a gorgeous piece of equipment though. It's in nice shape. Old riveted boiler too, eh? It's always nice. You can see those gears. Oh, I love it. Oh yeah. So yeah, guys, this fly here. Steam comes down the manifold into the piston, rotates the fly, which spins the shaft, which then rotates the spur gear, which makes the other big gear move, which then causes the winch to actuate. Is that a windlass on here too? Yep, auxiliary winch, guys. We got an auxiliary winch here. So we've got, you can see the gear train, all gears, and then transferring from here to here for the auxiliary, right, for the windlass. How many winches they got on here? They got 1, 2, and 3. 3 winch setup here. We got 3 winch setup, which is awesome. So it starts here, moves there. So let me see if I can get this laid out for us here. Okay, so it starts there, and then everything spins off of that. You get one going, you get the rest of her going. But this is a beautiful donkey winch, guys. This is a beautiful donkey winch. Nice preserve, too. The park has been dedicated to Polly Sargent, a remarkable woman who lived in Hazelton for over 50 years until her death in 1993. Originally from Alberta, Margaret Polly Sargent married into the prominent pioneer family. Her many achievements included a major role in Hazelton's incorporation as a village municipality in February 1956. She served as the first mayor from 56 to 68. During this time, sidewalks, paved roads, streetlights, sewers, storm drains, fire truck and hall, library, municipal office and health center were acquired. Cassiar Village became a reality in 1970 as a result of her efforts in helping to revive the Gitxsan culture. So we got the donkey boiler, which is kind of the big one here, and then we got this little engine. Like you can see the little valves too. Old towns restored from heritage buildings serve as a reminder of the days when Hazelton was the commercial center of the Northwest. From 1866 to 1913, Hazelton was the upriver terminus for a fleet of sternwheelers which plied the wild rapids of the Skeena River. People and supplies were then dispersed inland to dozens of mines, farms, and settlements. It was huge, guys. So this is the Sternwheeler, the Hazelton. Big Sternwheeler history here, guys. Huge history here. of Sternwheelers. It's in nice shape, too. Municipal Council Chambers. SS Hazelton. 90-foot steam-powered sternwheeler replica, and SS Essington paddle wheel. Some pieces of the current building are actual parts from one of the original paddle wheelers, which served many years as an upscale restaurant located on the Cambie Street Bridge in Vancouver. It burned down in the 1970s, and the surviving scraps were sent to Hazelton to be incorporated into our Recla, site of the Union Bank of Canada in 1910, and First Dance Hall converted to Third Hazelton Hotel in 38 to 56. Oh, there's a totem pole there. Nice. That's a beautiful totem pole. Skeena River, guys. Gateway to the Omenica. Or one of the gateways to the Omenica, I should say. What a beauty. The heydays of the Sternwheeler. Hazelton was all a big part of it, guys. Look at the Skeena. It's a fast-flowing river. Hazelton Landing. So this is where all the Sternwheelers would have pulled up, guys. You imagine this back in the day. People coming and going to the Goldfields, heading up into the Cassiar, Omenica, transferring over to Rupert. You know, the train, everything. A lot of stuff. Okay, so here we are, guys. Pioneer Museum, the Hazelton Sternwheeler up there. Ooh, they got word for us. 200 million years ago, North America was pushed westward as the Atlantic began to open up. As the continent was forced over the existing floor of the Pacific Ocean, the seabed was subducted downward, causing friction, melting, and wide volcanic activity. Over millions of years, this section in North America grew as the seabed melted and was thrust upward and joined to the coastline. During the time the coast mountains were being formed, 4 ice ages swept over this region. The last glaciers receded 12,000 years ago, leaving a broad U-shaped valleys and abundant gravel. As ice, up to 2 miles thick, retreated, humans navigated the newly exposed ground and inhabited forests that flourished along the ocean and river margins. Northwest British Columbia is rich in valuable minerals, fossils, hot springs, and remnants of volcanoes. We got cobalt with eutherite, pink, molybdenum, arsenopyrite, copper chalcopyrite, lead zinc, quartz with copper, pyrite chalcopyrite, galena and sphalerite, lead zinc sulfate, coal. We got some anthracitic coal here. That's really nice quality coal, man. That's anthracite coal. Then there's bones, right? Wolf, coyote, fox, black bear, grizzly bear. Shows you the structure of the Earth. 2,900 kilometers. The mantle's huge, guys. 2,900 kilometers. Outer core, 2,000 kilometers. Inner core, 1,300. It's huge, guys. Lots of different fossils here. Gold-bearing quartz, lots of mining, sphalerite, malachite, kinolite. Hazelton, Boomtown, vital center of activity for prospectors, traders, and merchants, pack train operators, and missionaries. In the period between 1890 and 1915, Hazelton was the largest non-native community in northwest British Columbia. The town flourished at the headwaters of navigation on the Skeena, and was a vital center of activity for prospectors, traders, merchants, pack train operators, and missionaries. The Grand Trunk Pacific Railway was constructed to bypass Hazelton. Although Hazelton was never abandoned, it lost its role as a major center and was frozen in its pioneer form. In the 1970s, local residents identified Hazelton's rich heritage as an important social and economic resource. The community is committed to the heritage and preservation on a long list of projects identified to better encourage the commerce. The Sternwheeler era. The Skeena River is the second largest stream in British Columbia. The River of Mist is fast, full of twists and turns, studded with rocks and shifting bars. Its level can rise and fall several feet in a single day. There are currents that eddy and swirl with tremendous force, and monstrous logs that float on and below the surface. In June, during spring freshet, you can hear thousands of pounds of boulders rolling through the right water. From 1811 to 1812, up to 20 different paddle wheelers made the dangerous trip upriver to Hazelton. Boats with names like Pheasant, Omenica, Caledonia, Monte Cristo. Captains named Bonzer, Gardner, and Coffin. The fastest 180-mile round trip was made in 1902 when the SS Hazelton made an astonishing time of 47 hours. By the 1870s, Hazelton was a bustling trade post, grew to serve a wide scattering of mines, homesteads, native settlements, canoes, and later paddle wheel steam riverboats could navigate the Skeena only as far inland as Hazelton. This created a Boomtown depot and distribution center in the period between 1866 and 1914. By 1911, Hazelton had developed into one of the greatest pack train camps of North America. Pack trains carried supplies to the Omenica Goldfields. The spring of 1871 witnessed an enormous rush to the Omenica Goldfields. The Wet'suwet'en people of Hazelton and the Buckley Valley were especially adept at the task of carrying heavy loads on their backs for long distances, and many were employed to transport goods to the Omenica. In 1904, Captain Bonzer of the Hazelton and Captain Johnson of the Mount Royal dueled their 130-foot craft in a mad race up the river. Sulphurous insults were hurled between the jockeying ships, and a halfway point Mount Royal passed Hazelton. Captain Bonzer would not tolerate losing, so he smashed the Hazelton into Mount Royal. Passengers ran for their rifles. For a time, it looked like a full battle would erupt. Luckily, the craft drifted apart and peace was maintained. The Klondike Gold Rush of 1898 led the resurrection of the Collins Overground Route. The trail became known as the poor man's route to the Klondike. As need for telecommunication with the Yukon became more urgent, the federal government decided to route a line along the Collins Trail. The 1,100-mile line was completed in 1901, and 2 telegraph creek workers were stationed in relay cabins every 30 miles. Hazelton became the distribution center for the line. Legendary packers like Jean Cadillac and his pack train were responsible for bringing supplies to the men. A typical round trip was arduous and would take about 3 months. Relayer from the telegraph. Sounder for the telegraph. With the completion of the Grand Trunk Pacific Railway in 1913, the arrival of the train to Hazelton area led to the cessation of the Skeena River paddle wheelers. From then on, supplies were transported by rail. When entrepreneurs realized the wealth of northwestern British Columbia, a number of schemes were hatched to access the region by trail. These plans were combined with the long-held Canadian aspiration to have a second transcontinental railway that traversed the northern part of the young nation. In the early 1900s, Grand Trunk Pacific Railway was chartered. Surveys for the route marked the south side of the Skeena as the best grade to tidewater. The path would not be through Hazelton and would require a new settlement to be built along the railway. So the railway company subdivided a nearby town site of their own, which they named South Hazelton. We're just finishing up Hazelton here, Old Hazelton, or Hazelton, because there's New Hazelton, there's Old Hazelton, and then there's South Hazelton, Yukon Telegraph Line, Collins Overland Telegraph Line, Omenica Gold Rush, Northwestern BC Mining, everything, guys. It's just off the highway, Hazelton. You have to go across Hazelton Canyon, cross the bridge there. Make sure you guys come, make sure you check it out, make sure you support the town and the community, because they need it. You know, it's like tourism's what they do here. That's their thing. So super important. And the library as well, guys. It's all everything. It's all linked. So just make sure if you are in the area, you stop by and check it out, because it's really the scenery's nice, the history's nice, everything about it is just really, really nice. Head of Sternwheeler exploration on the Skeena. The town grew at the landing close to the Indian village of Gittinmax. Crews from the Collins Overland Telegraph arrived in 1866. Following them, the Omenica Gold Rush miners, Hudson's Bay pack strings, and Gandhi dancers of the Grand Trunk all tramped these streets. Each is a chapter in history of the town on the Hazel Flats. And that's the Skeena, guys. The mighty Skeena. And just the view of the mountains. We are in Vanderhoof, the Royal Bank of Canada. Royal Bank Canada, 1920. So this is the bank. Farming equipment. This is the OK Cafe, OK Hotel, 1920. They serving food here still? Not today, because it's a small break from the 24th to the 29th. Let's go see the exhibits. Geographical Center of BC. Pretty close to Prince George, about an hour from Prince George. So, OK Cafe and Hotel. This is all Fraser Lake, Vanderhoof area, lives of everybody that lived here. This is what your $250 a night would have gotten you if you could afford that. If not, you'd be sleeping in the attic, huddled together like a sheep. The ram pasture, 2 blankets, a mattress, and pillow cost 50 cents a night. Sounds like fun, eh? All your coworkers there getting all nice and cozy. Bannock, canned salmon, magic sauce, beaver soup, smoked beaver meat. Oh, that sounds nice. Doctor's office. Very important medical things. Sports. Yeah. Oh, they won a lot of trophies. Nice. Nice old building though, eh? You go to like the actual trim and the siding. That's the visitor center there. Hopefully they got some good signs here telling me some stuff. This is a house. Heritage Park. The railway was an important part of Vanderhoof's history. In 1914, the last bike was driven on the Grand Trunk Pacific Railroad in Fort Fraser, just west of Vanderhoof. Once completed, the railway brought a huge influx of people and industry to the Nechako Valley at Vanderhoof. Tie hacking and making of the railway ties by hand offered steady employment to pioneers and First Nations for decades after the railway was completed. So this is Smithers' house, it looks like. Is it just a house in here? Yeah, Smithers' house. Probably not much in here for us, but we'll see anyways. Oh yeah, it's a nice little house. Very nice houses back in the day. Oh, there we go. I hear the train. Murray House and Jail. Oh, you can see the bars on the windows. The old log cabin. It's a nice little heritage park, though. It's nice that they have this. It's good to have stuff like this. Using this for a jail. Can't go inside though, eh? Well, Grand Trunk Pacific, guys, is a super important part of our history as a nation in Canada because it's the transportation route for all freight coming and going from Prince Rupert, Edmonton, Saskatoon, Winnipeg there, big terminus. Canadian National Railroad, CNR. There we go. There's the train. Can't really see it though. We heard it. So this is the caboose, guys. CN Rail there. Yeah, it's closed again, isn't it? Frustrating. Really frustrating. Anyways, that's the caboose. CNR. And then this is the Vanderhoof Heritage Park here. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for Vanderhoof. History of Vanderhoof, Vanderhoof Museum, Geographic Center of BC. It's going to conclude our Fraser Lake, Burns Lake, Lakes District routes video. I hope you enjoyed it, and like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon to get notified, and Sasquatch Prospector out.